Well, hello enemies and book lovers. My name is Ash and welcome back to my channel. We're here by January TBR. I am so excited. It is a new year. Well, it's about to be a new year. I'm posting this a few days before New Year's, but it's about to be a new year. I'm not super optimistic about the year, but at the same time, I'm hopeful. I just hope it's a good year for us all. I am at the end of my sickness. I have been sick for almost 2 weeks now, but I'm finally getting to the end of it. So I do apologize for my redness and everything. I'm sick. Also, I have eczema or psoriasis, so I just get red skin all the time. Point is, I am sick. I am getting better though. I sound a lot better than I did a few days ago, so that's great. But the biggest thing and the most important thing is that we are going to be starting my TBR game again. I'm so excited. We are going to be restarting the board, so we're going to start in the top left corner and start from the beginning again. I am very excited about this. I love my TBR game. Sometimes it's nice to me, sometimes it's not, but I'm still excited to play. It's one of my favorite things to do every single month, and so I am dying to continue this and play again for January. I'm hopefully going to do this every single month. I'm going to try not to, skip any months. Even with readathons, I'm still going to try doing this. So I am very excited because, again, love my TBR game. First, obviously, we're going to do my spinner wheel first, obviously, as we always do. So let's go with the spinner wheel, see what I end up getting for that first. I hope it's kind to me. It is a new year, so maybe it'll be nice. So let's see what I get for my spinner wheel first, and then we'll come back in a second. First things first, we're going to see what happens with the spinner wheel with the pylon space down below. I'll let you know what it is when I land on it, if I land. Oh gosh, I should say if I land on it. But if I don't, there's no reason to tell you. So let's just spin this and see what I end up getting. Okay, so the pylon is going on the green spot, which is to remove a roll and redo, which essentially just means I can roll the dice and just say I don't want to do this and just re-roll it. Let's go and actually see what the actual roll will be. All right. Oh my gosh. This is the first time I've ever actually landed on this, and I landed on it twice this year. Okay, this is wild. So that means I get to redo a roll if I don't like it. So that's perfect. I'm actually kind of happy with that. All right, let's move on to the TBR game now. So far, so good. Which means we have 5 rolls, so I will be rolling 5 times, getting 5 different things on the board. So let's go with our first roll and see what our first one is going to be for 2026. All right, welcome to my first TBR game of 2026. I am very excited. So we have a reroll, so that means if I roll onto something I don't want, I can just re-roll it and decide not to take that. But I also might get something worse. So there's always a little risk, but I'm kind of excited to at least have this for the first time. That's kind of exciting. But with that being said, let's do our first roll and see what the first prompt of 2026 is going to be. Let's hope it's kind to me. I'm going to be rolling a d8, so an 8-sided die, to determine where I land, as usual. So let's go make our first roll. Ooh, that's a 2. Okay, 1, 2. Yay! LGBTQIA+. I think I've only landed on this like twice, so I'm very happy to get this. But yes, my first prompt is LGBTQIA+. What a great one to start the year off with. Our first one is LGBTQIA+, which I am so happy about. I love my queer books. I kind of want to read more of them, honestly. I feel like I just want to read more outside of just like the same books I always read. But that being said, I did get LGBTQIA+. I actually read Heated Rivalry in December just off the bat because of the show. I haven't watched the show yet because I kind of want to wait for this episodes to come out. Although I'm really glad I read the books because people are spoiling constantly without even like spoiler warnings, and it's very annoying. But thankfully I read the books, I already knew what was going to happen next. But it is a little bit annoying when people spoil shows like off the bat. Ironically enough, I actually was going to read this before the show came out, and I really wanted to get to this book because it is the final book in a series, and I do want to continue my series for 2026. I want to complete more. Who knows if I'll actually do it, but I want to try my best. And that is the last book that came out in the Jacksonville Ray series, which is Pucking Strong by Emily Rath. I love Emily Rath. She very much advocates out loud about things. She's very vocal about her stances on the world, and I love that so much. I feel like there's so many authors that do really annoying bad things. It's just nice to have one that's just like speaks loudly about topics, and I love that. So Emily Rath is my next one with Pucking Strong. This is a male-male romance, which again, rather ironic because this is a hockey male-male romance. So if you like Heated Rivalry, I would definitely check out this series. They're not all male-male though. A lot of them are like polyamorous, MF, and this one has MM. So it kind of depends on what you like. But I'm so excited. I love the characters in this series. They're like amazing, interconnected series. So it's a series that are not completely the same characters, but they are in the world of each other. So we're following different characters, but they all kind of exist in the same world and are all like friends and stuff. And I'm really excited about this one because this is following 2 different characters, Teddy and Henrik. Henrik loses his sister, unfortunately, and he has to go back to Sweden to take care of his niece now because she doesn't have her mother anymore. But in order to kind of win over this custody battle, he has to fake marry, and who other to fake marry than Teddy, who is the doctor of this story, and he has feelings for Henrique, and so he has to move in, fake marry, or I think he does get married to him, but like he has to like pretend that they're, you know, a thing, and move in with him, take care of his niece with him. And this sounds so cute because I love like parent trope, like the single parent trope or whatever, and because this is his niece, they have to like take care of her together, and I think it's gonna be so cute and it's gonna be so wholesome, I think, with obviously some darker topic within. Obviously there's grief and there's other topics within the series, but I think this is gonna be really cute, really simple, really sweet, and it's a male-male romance with hockey, obviously. As a Canadian myself, I do love hockey, so I don't really watch it, I just like it. I used to watch it, not anymore. Point is, I do enjoy it from time to time. I am looking forward to this. I do want to catch up to the series. I still think potentially there's more coming out in the Jacksonville Ray series, but this just came out I think like September of 2025, so it's just a new release of last year, and so I am finally going to be getting to it. It is a bigger book. It's like 600 pages or a little bit more than that, 650 pages, so a lot of these books are pretty big, but I am still looking forward to it because I think I'm gonna love it, so I cannot wait. Moving on now to my second roll of the TBR board game. That is a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A romance. I get this all the time, and honestly, I'm not complaining. So, romance is our second prompt. Very easy and simple. My second romance, I guess, of the month, and that is going to be obviously a romance tile. So I'm going to be reading a romance book. Now, I want to try to. I don't know if I'm going to actually stick to it, but I want to try to read one of my free ebooks every single month. I'm going to random number generator and choose a random book that I have that are from my ebooks. I have over 100 ebooks I got for free in the past like 3 years. So I already did it. I already randomized the number. First number was 1 to 15, so I chose 1 to 15. It was a 11, I believe. And then I choose from the top horizontal row, and that was 1 to 10, and I got, I think, a 10. And that got me to a book that I don't know how you feel about, honestly. This is Plucked by the Orc. Sorry, I can't take it seriously. I'm not trying to be mean, like I love romance, but sometimes these covers and these titles are just a lot. Plucked by the Orc by Jenna Larkin. Listen, I think this cover is okay. I heard someone say that it was AI. A lot of, unfortunately, like the free ebooks I got, a lot of them are AI. Not all of them, but like a decent amount of them are AI, which is really annoying. I can't tell with this one. I heard someone say it once when they read it. I don't know if that's true. I'm just gonna say it looks like it might not be. It's hard to tell. Okay, I'm one of those people that like I can't tell sometimes, and it makes me afraid because I'm gonna be like my parents one day and just not know what's going on anymore, and I'm scared. Regardless, I don't know. I'm not going to say it is. I'm not sure, but I am curious about this one's historical monster romance, which is interesting. I don't really read much monster romances, and I don't really usually like historical romance, but again, these are free. If I don't like them, I'm just going to unhaul them / like remove them off of my e-reader, so I'm just going to delete it. I usually delete my books I don't like on my e-reader just to like save up space. I don't even like remove the download. I just like delete it fully. If I don't like this book, at least it gives me space on my e-reader and I can just get rid of it. This one is interesting. It is about a female character named Iris. She's kind of like rough and tumble a little bit, you know, usually in this era people are more sophisticated and they see women as like ladylike, and she's a little bit, you know, off the cusp of that, just subtly. And then we have Duncan, who is of course our orc of this story. He does his best to like study humans and everything, but obviously has a hard time kind of adjusting and kind of blending in with them. One day his brother dares him to take this like rough and tumble woman Iris and try to make her more like, you know, sophisticated and stuff. I'm not sure how I feel about that, but whatever, it's fine. The third act breakup, I already know it's going to be because of that damn dare, but he tries to like help her in that regard. And then one day when she actually, you know, kind of becomes more of that side that everyone expects from her, a man who is human, the bachelor of the season, shows up and is interested in Iris. And of course Duncan is a little bit nervous and jealous because obviously he's trying to win her over, and all of a sudden this human shows up and he's a bit afraid that he'll lose her for this person or human in this regard. Honestly, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about this book. It has interesting concepts, I guess, but I'm not really sure. Again, I'm not really a historical romance kind of girl. Maybe one day I will get into a historical romance and I will enjoy it. The Infernal Devices I really enjoyed. It's more like historical with some romance in it. And I also like Belladonna, which has again historical aspects with a little bit of romance in it. I guess I kind of like it when it's a bit of a back burner for romance, but I don't know how I'm going to feel about a romance that is in this time period. I find it sometimes to be a little bit difficult because I think the women kind of, it feels a little sexist, okay, misogynistic. So it's hard for me to like sometimes. Not that you can't enjoy it, but like obviously for me it's a bit hard to get into, but I'm going to try it. I will also admit that a lot of the ebooks I'm going to have this year that are from this free list, a lot of the time I DNF them, not intentionally, but I think like over half of them I've already DNF'd so far that I have started. I think I've maybe read like 6 or 7, and I've DNF'd 4 out of 7. So there's a decent chance I might not love it. But you will see in my roll and review, if you want to watch that, if I enjoyed it or not, if I DNF it or not. We'll find out. So we'll see in my review of the month, next month, how I feel about it. Moving on from that, we're going to go into our third roll. Let's see what it is. Let's see if it's another romance, I swear. Let's see what my third roll is going to be for January. That's a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, a series tile, or a 1, 2, 3, 4 readathon prompt. I have no readathons in January, but I'm probably a bit behind on my own readathon, so I could easily do my readathon prompt. But as always, I want to prioritize my series. So we're just going to go with the easier one and go 1, 2, 3, 4 and go on to the series tile. I forgot I want to at least try to take this out for my series tile. I keep forgetting. So for my series, I'm going to just pick one out randomly, and if I want to read this, I'll read it. So let's see what series I will be reading in January. I'm not looking. Okay, I got one in my hand. It's going to be, oh my gosh, again, I keep getting Saint of Steel. I'm not complaining, I'm just surprised. Okay, we got the next book in the Saint of Steel series by T. Kingfisher. Let's go and talk about that one. Okay, so it seems like the theme is kind of continuing. Our third one was series, and I did randomize my series with my little series jar, and I did get the next book in the Saint of Steel series, which is Paladin's Hope. This is also a romance, except this one's like a fantasy with romance in it. I guess it is romantasy because the romance is actually pretty heavy in this series. But the Saint of Steel series, as mentioned many times before on my channel, is a series where there are paladins. We're following another interconnected series where each book follows a different paladin whose god has died, and they have to kind of process information. They all kind of deal with it different ways. And this character in this book, our paladin in this book, I am so excited about. I'm not going to talk about who the character is because some people might see it as a spoiler kind of to know who the next characters are in the series. So I'm not going to say who the character is in regards to the paladin, but he had a lot of issues and I love him so much. He is my favorite character of all the characters, and I'm so excited to be getting to his book. And then we're also following Piper. Piper is a lich doctor, which is so cool. One day he finds like this mysterious and mangled bodies, and he has to find out who is doing this, which is actually kind of a reoccurring theme within the series so far. There's something going on, and you have to find out like a mystery as to what's going on and who's doing it. So we're doing that, and then the paladin of the story is kind of like helping protect him. This is another male romance. I don't want to get my hopes up too high because I feel like in December, I feel like I've just been really disappointed. I've DNF'd a few books. I don't know. I'm hoping January is a kinder month to me and I find some really good books this month because I'm just getting tired of not loving the books I'm reading. So hopefully this changes with Paladin's Hope. I think there's only one more book after this and then the books are still ongoing. I think there's still going to be at least 2 more books after the 4th book. So this is book 3 out of the 4 that are currently out, but I think they're still ongoing with this series. So yeah, I'm almost caught up to the series, which is great. I'm going to be reading Paladin's Hope for my next book and I'm very excited about it. I think this one I'm going to really like. Fingers crossed. We have 2 rolls left. Let's move on to our 4th roll. To be honest though, this path has a lot of things I would re-roll on. I don't really know if I want TBR or scratch off right now. So I might re-roll in this singular area. So we'll find out. So let's make a roll and see if I decide to re-roll it. That's a big number. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, random color generator or sci-fi. This is risky because I kind of want to re-roll this one. But I know that if I re-roll it, I could get one of these ones that I don't really want. I think I'm going to take the risk. I think I'm going to re-roll this one because I don't really want any of those. Which means I still get a chance to get 8 again, but I also have a chance of getting the other ones. So I'm going to use this as my re-roll, and I'm going to do one more time. So I might regret this. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Okay, a scratch-out card. I don't think I'm mad about this, but I'm not happy about it either. I'm okay with this one. Okay, let's do a scratch off and then see what it is. I also forgot to move it. 1, 2, and 3. All right, as you can see, we have our scratch off. As always, I think there's around, I think last time there was like 82. So there's around 80 to 81 of these in here. And these are just scratch off cards. A lot of these are your recommendations, booktuber recommendations, and the purple ones are actually ones that people don't like. Blue is fantasy, pink is romance, and the green and yellows are other. The purples are ones that booktubers did not like, so that's always an interesting one. And so yeah, so we're going to just decide out of these ones which one I'm going to choose. My eyes are currently closed, and I'm just going to go with, let me just put these down. I'm going to go with, this one. Ooh, a purple one. Okay. Purple is a book that someone did not enjoy, mostly a booktuber. So let's see what that is. Let's put these ones back. All right. I know what this is, but for some reason my brain is just going, wait, what is this book? Wolf Gone Wild. I'm a little bit afraid. Let's see what this book is and who I got this from. Interesting. So my fourth roll was a scratch off card and I got a purple one. Purple is booktubers like least favorite books or people's least favorite books or ones they just didn't like or kind of had high expectations with and it didn't really meet those expectations. So kind of just like ones they didn't enjoy as much as they hoped or like some of their least favorite books. And with this one, I got Wolf Gone Wild by Juliet Cross. This was actually on, I don't know when, it probably was like over a year ago now because I made these cards such a long time ago. This is from Nat Kat's Bookish Cafe. I'll link her down below. She either had it on a list or just talked about not liking it. And I wanted to put it on my list because it sounded like something I might like. But again, another romance book, a fourth one in a row, which I'm not mad about. But I'm also kind of just like, okay, well, there's a theme going on. I was hoping to get into different genres in 2026, but I guess I'm going to be sticking to romance for a little bit. I'm not complaining. I really love my romance. It's one of my favorite genres, so I'm not mad about it. This book is following Evie and Mateo. Evie is a witch in a coven, and this coven has always told her that werewolves are bad. They are seen as like vicious and dangerous and do not go near them. But Mateo ends up going into her bar one day. In doing so, he gets in a fight with someone. She's about to kick him out, but there's like desperation in his eyes and he needs her help. He is what he thinks is a curse. He cannot get his wolf out of his head for the last 3 months. I don't think he's able to shift, and so he goes to her for help because there's no one else he can really go to. There's obviously some romance that blossoms. I guess there's a little bit of rivals to lovers. I don't know, but I'm going to assume because she's not supposed to be around werewolves and they're going to end up together, it's going to be interesting. Although also I think Mateo's wolf kind of sees her as his, so maybe it's like a mate thing. I don't know. But I am curious. I love shifters. I've always liked them. I used to be Team Jacob when I was younger. Listen, as an adult, I don't like him as much, especially in the last book, but still stand by the fact that I used to love shifters. And honestly, I still love them, and I also love vampires. I love both now, so I love that growth in my life. And we're going into our fifth and final roll, so let's see what our last book, or at least potential last book, is going to be for January of the new year. Okay, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 5, 6. A mood read or an illustrated book? I feel so bad for the illustrated book because honestly, mood read is like the best thing on this entire board. That means I can do anything I want, and so it's almost obvious that I'm going to choose it. Although I do really need to continue my manga really badly. I've been slacking in 2025. I think I could do illustrated for other books. I don't really need to make it a whole book. So because of that, I'm going to add an actual novel to this roll and just go with mood read because illustrated, I can just add that later. I don't have to worry about that now. So I'm going to do a mood read for my last one. What a way to end my TBR game. I got mood read. And honestly, I could put a lot of things for this, but I'm going to do something that is not a romance for once. Surprisingly. It's actually something I said in my sprints like a week or so ago, probably at this point like 2 weeks ago, and that is like I wanted to read more horror or thrillers or anything like that. I want to read different genres a little bit more this year, again, which is a bit ironic considering I'm reading almost only romance this month. It's a little bit of a cop-out because I do want to read his books. I've been saying that I'm trying to read his books chronologically, but I do want to continue Stephen King's works. So I'm going to continue from the last one I read, which was Roadwork. I didn't love Roadwork, by the way. It was just okay. So maybe it'll be better than the last book. And that is Cujo by Stephen King. This is a very well-beloved, at least well-known book, at least. And so I want to go into it very curious. It's a very simple synopsis. This is just about a Saint Bernard who kind of gets himself in a situation where like he goes into like a burrow or something with bats and probably gets bit and starts to act erratically. I'm going to assume it has to do with like rabies and what happens with dogs in that regard. He becomes a very, very dangerous Saint Bernard. And I know that very well. I think I watched the movie when I was younger. I have very vague memories of this book in a movie format. I don't remember it very well though. I want to start watching movies or shows after I read his books. I don't know if it's not a spoiler, but if you don't want to know any like information about other books connecting to this book, skip the next like 10 seconds. But I think when I read Pet Sematary, Cujo was mentioned in it, just like very faintly. There was like a Saint Bernard that was mentioned. So it's really cool to see that mentioned in that book about a Saint Bernard. So I found that really, really cool to see that. I love that he does that within his books. He kind of like puts in little tiny Easter eggs of his other books. And I just love seeing that. So I'm excited to finally get to this one. Although again, I'm not sure if I'll like it, but we'll find out. I also love this cover so much. It's one of the newer covers and it's just so pretty. Like the way the art style and the art itself is just gorgeous. I don't know. I really like it in comparison to the other ones. Again, I'm excited to have something that's a little breaking up the romance of the month. So I'm hoping I will like this one. That is all for my TBR game. I have a few more books are for like video projects I'm not going to be talking about right now. So I do have a few more books because that's not too many pages, thankfully. But again, I have some video project books I have to read in January. I also do want to continue my manga. So if you're not interested in this, you could probably just skip to the end or just leave the video. But I do have a manga that I want to continue, and that's Attack on Titan. I am on volume 13, and because I kind of caught up to Black Butler, I think it's a perfect time for me to continue Attack on Titan because I've been slacking on this and Berserk. So I'm trying to finish this first because it is a completed series and then get back into Berserk. So I'm trying to kind of slowly over the course of the year take my time with this series, and I'm really looking forward to it. I love Attack on Titan. It's so good. I still need to continue the TV show though. So I am ahead in the TV show. I already know what happens in the next few volumes, the next like 10 or so volumes, but I am dying to continue it because it's so well done. I've heard mixed things about the ending of the series, but I'm loving my time until I get to that point. So I'm really looking forward to continuing Attack on Titan. There's a bunch of like TV shows and anime and movies I want to read and watch in 2026. So I'll probably talk about those in my roll and review videos, like little wrap-ups of like even shows I watch or anime I watch or whatever. So if you're interested in that, I'll have it in my roll and review video. But if not, I'm going to finish the video off here. Those are the 5 books I have on this list. Again, there are still some, well, I guess with my manga, it's like 6 or 7, but I still have a few things on this list that you do not see. I will hide them from you for now. For the most part, it's not too bad. It's like around 2,500 pages, which isn't bad at all. I gave myself a little bit more space in January so that I can have a little bit more time to read my other books and my other projects. So I gave myself a little bit more slack in regards to the page count so that I can like, you know, use some of that time and some of that page count to do some video projects, which I'm really happy about. This is my TBR for January, and I'm very much looking forward to it. I think it's be a good one. I'm hoping it's good. I just want to read some really good books because I'm kind of getting tired of reading mediocre books. I feel like it's been having a lot lately. I need to read some good books. Some 4 or 5-star books. That's all I want for January, okay? That's all I ask for. So those are all the books I'm going to be reading for January. Let me know what you're reading if you want to, or your opinions on any of the books I have on this list. And if you want to leave an emoji down below, put a dog emoji for Cujo. I mean, there's no St. Bernard, I don't think. Is there? Probably not, but put whatever dog emoji you want in the comments below if you have nothing to say or just want to show that you watched the video. And with that, we're going to end the video off here. Thank you so much for being here for 2025 and going into the new year of 2026. Or if you're new, thank you for being here on my channel in the new year. I'm very excited to start this new year. Hopefully it is kind to us all. So enjoy the end of 2025. I just hope 2026 is kind to us. That's all I want. So we'll find out. If not, I just hope we find some amazing books, new favorites, and we just have a good time because we really need it. We all deserve it, I think. Have a great day, have a happy new year, and I hope to see you all soon. Goodbye, everyone.